It's time to talk about a hard truth. If you are depending on one income stream, one paycheck, one service to support your life, that is not freedom. And even if you love your career, we are living in times where we need to be self-sufficient, and that starts with financial stability. Because let's be honest, if you are dependent on one thing, one organization, one client, one course, it means that if you decide that you want to change something, you do not have options. And you deserve to make decisions based on alignment instead of desperation or moving through survival mode. Let's talk about it. Today we're going to break down what an income ecosystem is, how to identify what type of ecosystem works for you, and really getting clear on how you can find financial freedom for your life and your career. So in case we haven't met yet, my name is Sienna J. Brown, and I am a leadership and lifestyle coach for high achievers who are really looking to redefine success, reconnect with their true values and visions, and really be able to create a clear strategic plan where alignment and ambition can coexist. Because you deserve to have impact in this world while also having ease. So today we are going to talk about what is an income ecosystem and why it's so important. So an income ecosystem is various streams of income that support your lifestyle, your financial goals, and also the big dreams and desires that you have for your life, not just today, but in the future as well. We're talking about financial flexibility, baby. And when I say that, that means being able to give yourself options to not move through life through a sentiment of survival mode, but instead being able to have the options to show up and reach your full potential and to be able to reach self-actualization in a way that feels good without selling your soul or burning it all to the ground. Now, I want to be very clear. When we talk about a rich life, we are not just talking about creating income so that you can lean into what capitalism wants, which is us buying the fancy car, buying the $1 million home, buying the Birkins or whatever it is in style. Now, don't get me wrong. If that's what you want, I support you. But I think it's important to recognize that a rich life also means being able to have ownership of your time and energy, being able to make decisions in alignment with what you truly want, being able to say no to things that don't feel aligned so you can show up to say yes to what it is that truly fuels you. And having a rich life also means being able to be present, being able to move slowly, being able to actually enjoy everything that you are working so hard to build. And here's where a lot of us get it wrong because we're so focused on the financial goals, on the scaling, on the moving up the ladder, that we actually get lost and we end up living a life that's still keeping us stuck in cycles of self-abandonment along the way. And that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about how to do it in a way that feels aligned and that brings together strategy and soul. Now, for me right now, I currently have 5 different income streams that support the life that I want to create. And this is not just for entrepreneurs, but this is also for individuals who are in corporate, who are consultants, whatever that might be, so that you can also support what happens if that contract ends. What happens if you get impacted by layoffs? What happens if you want to leave your current situation to be able to move on to something that you know will elevate and support you? So let's think about the 5 income streams that I currently have in my life that I did not have 5 or 6 years ago. Income stream number 1, the coaching work that I do with amazing individuals to help them go from where they are now to where they want to be with impact and ease. And so that's both one-on-one coaching and group coaching offers that I have as well. Income stream number 2, I run a co-working space that works pretty autonomously in Spain. And so that is where individuals rent out spaces for a day, a week, a month, 6 months. And I'm really working on creating the environment where they'll be able to thrive. Income stream number 3, I own a rental apartment that was once my home before we moved into Casa Luna, where we live now, where I rented out on a long-term basis in the fall and a short-term basis in the summer. Income stream number 4, the consulting and speaking work that I do with organizations to really help them with their leadership development, cultural change, and increasing employee engagement. And income stream number 5, the passive, and when I say passive, that doesn't mean I didn't do work to create it, but it means that it brings in more passive income through solely focusing on marketing, the courses, the resources, the master classes that I offer for individuals to be able to buy. And so something that I think was really important is that these 5 different income streams I also had while I was working my 9 to 5, which up until recently was my 6th income stream. And so the thing that was really important was that when I was able to make that transition of how do I go from my current career move to being able to have more time, energy, freedom, alignment in my life, it was because I had been cultivating the other income streams, not by doing more and working harder, by working smarter, so that when I wanted to make a decision to leave my corporate role as a VP in growth, I didn't feel as if I was going to be thrown into the trenches, right? And so when I say that income ecosystems are not just for entrepreneurs, it's really for anyone who is looking to be able to rely on something outside of what their current and main income stream is, so that you're able to have decision and choice over what you want. So I can do another episode breaking this down even more. If it's something you're interested in, drop it in the comments. But today I want to give you 5 simple steps to start thinking about what can your income ecosystem look like and ways to start putting in the work to be able to create one that supports the lifestyle that you want to be living. Step number 1, identify your financial flexibility goal. Now, keep in mind, I did not say financial freedom because this is not the end goal where you want to be in 3 to 5 years, but this is your goal right now to identify how much money do you want or need to be making each month, and then adding in 10 or 15% more. And this number is so important because this is what gives you decision-making power. So if you're going to say, okay, I need to make $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, what are you currently making now? Where do you need to supplement that to reach your goal? And then also thinking about, is that goal actually true? And I say this because oftentimes we don't actually get to learn our numbers, and that can be for a variety of reasons, but we don't actually learn our numbers. So we think that our monthly number is actually much higher than what it really needs to be. Now, I'm saying this because we're trying to create the first version of what your income ecosystem plan is. And so it's by starting off smart and realistic as you start building confidence and moving towards what that next level looks like. Now, step number 2 is auditing your current energy and capacity. So I was talking about how I now have 5 income streams, but 5 to 6 years ago, that wasn't the case. I had 1. And little by little, I slowly started using that income stream to putting strategic moves together to start creating various other incomes. So that meant buying my first apartment, that at the time I didn't know was going to be a rental, but at the time was going to be a step towards more financial freedom in the future. That looked like a couple of years later deciding to put in energy and invest in the renovations for the co-working space so that with my 5-year contract, I would be able to really get the ROI that I wanted while it also doesn't have to be dependent on me. And so what you can see is that with each of these baby steps, I started creating different income streams to be able to support the current income that I had at the moment. And I think this is important because this does not now mean sprint to make $1 million by next week. I think everyone who talks about that online, it's a scam. I'm not saying it's a scam and they haven't done it, but what I am saying is we need to make it realistic and attainable for you so that it's not trying to go after some pipe dream that, number 1, isn't even your own, and number 2, isn't realistic with the current time and capacity that you have at the moment to pour into what you need to. So I want you to ask yourself, what season of life are you currently in? How much energy do you actually have to dedicate to what it is that you want to move forward? And also, I want you to ask yourself, why do you really want to do this? Because when you're able to tie this to your values and your bigger vision, it means that you'll be able to have even that much more aligned ambition and motivation to be able to move through. And not only that, but the discipline to stick with it. So I want you to start with where you are now, not where you think you should be or where you see everyone else at. So asking yourself, how much time or energy could I spend each week towards building a new income stream? Is it 2 hours? Is it 5 hours? Is it 10 hours? And depending on what that answer is, that will help you be able to reverse engineer what is possible for you in this stage of life. Now, the third thing, because we are not trying to burn out on this journey, is asking yourself, if you're going to be dedicating more time and energy into creating your income ecosystem, what do you need to remove or redesign? And I think this is important because in different chapters of life, we have different focuses of where we are putting our time and our energy. And so I want to ask you, what is currently going on in your life that is draining your time, draining your energy, and draining your income potential? And what might you have to say no to be able to move forward? And this can look like deciding to stop working at 5 p.m. instead of working extra hours because you can dedicate from 5 to 7 to working on your future business. Maybe that might mean that you stop watching Netflix late at night so you can wake up earlier and dedicate 2 hours after your morning routine to working towards your dreams. Maybe that means going on long Saturday brunches with friends might have to be on pause for 3 months so you can dedicate time on Saturdays to building out that new product or service or offer. And this is really important for you to also audit what are your current life pillars that are important to you right now so you can really rectify where you want to be putting in your time and energy, not just to be able to create more financial flexibility, but to be able to honor all aspects of your life that you are trying to really lean into at the moment. So if you don't know anything about life pillars, I won't get into that right now, but I will drop into the description permission to pivot, which will give you a really great sense of being able to audit where you're currently at, what season you're in, what changes you want to make in your life, and really working through some of the limiting beliefs and mindset work that you need to start creating a sustainable plan. Now, step number 4 is identifying what you are currently doing that can be monetized. And I'm gonna say a hard truth right now, but a lot of y'all are giving away for free things that individuals would pay and invest in. Think about it. What do people often come to you for? Do individuals who are on your team or in your organization come to you on advice for career growth? Do your besties come to you for advice on looking at their human design and helping them work through their lives? Does your community come to you for how can I start growing a garden or planting self-sustainably? I'm giving a bunch of various examples just because I think something that's so important is that a lot of the skills and gifts and zone of genius that we have can be monetized, but we are giving it away for free instead of recognizing that money is an exchange of energy. Oh, but I would do this for free. Oh, but I love helping X, Y, and Z with ABC. That's great. And what if you're able to charge $500 for one of those sessions that you have? What if you were able to charge $27 by taking all of the tips that you've been telling people and putting it in a quick PDF? What if you were able to film a quick 60-minute video talking about ways to look at copywriting so you don't sound like ChatGPT? And that's something that you can sell and share with people each time that you talk about the way that you would navigate it. And so I say this because creating additional revenue doesn't need to be hard, but it does need to start with you recognizing that your specific point of view, genius, experience, and expertise is valuable. And the last step that I want to walk you through is once you've started reflecting on steps 1 through 4, thinking about what can be a simple and easy way to start creating a little bit more of an ecosystem. So auditing how many income streams you currently have based on what you listened to in this episode. What is one more that you can add on in the next 3 to 6 months? And then start creating a strategic 30, 60, 90-day plan to be able to take the steps in alignment with your energy and your time to be able to prove to yourself that you can start creating additional income. Prove to yourself that your skills and your gifts are worthy for people to be able to pay you for. And prove to yourself that you are willing to create different options to be able to design the life and the career that you want. And so like I mentioned before, this is not about becoming an overnight success, but this is about strategically creating the structure, the systems, and the strategy that you need to be able to start creating a life where you have access to opportunity, where you do not feel as if you need to be stuck with where you're currently at because you don't have other options. So I hope that today's episode served you. I want to hear in the comments or on social. Feel free to tag me at Sienna J. Brown on almost every platform and tell me what stood out to you right now. Where might you be struggling with creating an income ecosystem? And if you would like to work together to be able to really create one that is specific and aligned, not just to your financial or your career goals, but also to the life that you want to be living, I'm here to support you. I want to give you a free resource today that will really help you start thinking about what can success look like for me in the future, and being able to gain clarity on that vision, your values, and what this next chapter looks like, so that you can base your income ecosystem on something that feels true, not just to who you've been, but to who you're becoming. So thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, follow, like, comment, do all of the things. And I really hope that today's episode serves you, because let's be honest, we all deserve to have freedom, to have choice, and to be able to live a life that feels aligned with who we truly are.